Welcome back to the Conspiracy Outpost. This week we are talking about the Pharaoh's Curse, or better known as King Tut's Curse. It's one of the most popular and deadly. Were these deaths a result of a deadly ancient curse or a mere coincidence? That's for you to decide as we unravel this mummy of a mystery. I'm your host, Casey.
I'm Mike.
Oh, I'm UF Joe.
Oh, I'm Matt. Sorry.
So, King Tut, he was born in 1341 BC and died in 1323 at the age of he was either 18 or 19 when he died. He reigned Egypt after his predecessor died, and that was he reigned between 1332 to 1323 at the time of his death. He had two children, both female. Lame.
Weak.
He ascended to the throne at the age of 9 and reigned until his death at the age of 18 or 19. I already said that, I guess, but he took the throne at 9, which is fucking crazy to me. That countries did that.
Yeah, no, he was like middle aged.
Here's a whole.
He was in the middle of his life.
More or less. This guy.
No,
though,
he was 9.
Yeah. So one of the most notable actions that he did when he was doing his reign, that he countermanded his predecessor. I don't know how to say his name. It's Akhenaten during the Amarna period, whatever. But I guess he restored the traditional polytheistic form of ancient Egyptian religion, undoing the religious shift known as Antonism, something like that, and moved the royal court away from Akhen's capital. Also, Tut was one of the few kings that were worshipped as a deity during his lifetime, which is usually done after they die.
Naturally.
And then
sort of like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, they actually have a tomb for him in the scummiest armpit smelling place in the fucking place.
It would have been cool if he would have died at 23, and then he could have been a part of that club. And then people would attribute the Tut's curse to the 23 people. The 23,
I actually do have a friend
from predecessor Akhenaten.
Yeah,
Akhenaten.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know if that's how you say it, but
that sounds better than what I said. So
it's actually Cock Tunnington, and it's because he had a very large cock, very heavy cock, not necessarily large.
These are ancient Egyptian names. I'm sure we're gonna say them wrong.
Hey, Casey,
and if we have any Egyptians listening, feel free to send me an audio clip of the proper way to say it, because we don't know.
Because we learned from the documentary on Netflix.
Casey, there's actually one of the people on that list that died when they were 23, and it was a friend.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I've watched 3 biographies on this, actually.
You're a liar. You didn't even know what the topic was until we started.
I've seen it a long time ago before.
It seemed like 20 years ago.
No, one of them was The Mummy. The Mummy Returns. The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Ooh, don't forget The Mummy with the remake of The Mummy with Tom Cruise.
You know,
you did do that.
Was it?
And Tom Cruise is okay with that?
It was The Mummy, right? With the scare
that
beetles.
Religion you were talking about, the Atenism.
Yeah.
It was centered on the cult of Aten, a god depicted as the disk of the sun. Aten was originally an aspect of Ra, Egypt's traditional solar deity, though he was later asserted by Akhenaten. I don't know how to say that, as being the superior of all deities. In the 14th century BC, Atenism was Egypt's state religion for around 20 years, and Akhenaten met the worship of other gods with persecution. He closed many traditional temples, instead commissioning the construction of Atenist temples, and also suppressed religious traditionalists.
So many times did they play tennis?
But I mean, later pharaohs undid his shit. So,
damn, that's a bitch. You do all that.
He was like, "Fuck everyone's religion. It's this religion." And then other pharaohs come up, and they're like, "Yeah, this guy was fucking asshole." You do you, bro.
That's crazy. He ended so King Tut, he had a grocery list of fucking health problems, man.
Was he inbred?
Pretty sure his wife was his aunt, but I'm sure that fucking
that's literally how royalty goes in history.
But I'm pretty sure,
I
probably stretched back.
That's why I asked if he was inbred.
If you scroll down, if you go on to if you just look up King, no, if you just look up King Tut himself, I only put a little bit, but he had literally, it was like a shopping list of things that he had wrong with him. He had bone necrosis, a possible club foot, and a shopping list of other health issues. He had scoliosis. He contracted several strains of malaria and likely died from complications of a broken leg, and that was compounded by having malaria at the same time.
It's also compounded of having a fucking big ass club foot.
Well, they said they don't know if he had a club foot. They said his sandals didn't show that he walked heavier on one side, with his club, but they said he was flat-footed on one foot.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I'm just going off of what I can remember.
No, finish what you were saying. Yeah.
Oh, that was the last thing I remembered.
Oh, dude. So I was looking up his family, trying to see if he was inbred, but his father is they did DNA testing on his mummy, and his father is actually the mummy that is in the tomb that's in tomb KV55 underneath one of the pyramids.
That's exactly what they called it.
And his mother was the mummy from tomb KV35, known as the Younger Lady, who was also found to be his full
mummy.
sister and her husband.
And their mummy?
Wait, hold on, wait. It was the.
So yeah, his parents were brother and sister.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had a whole shopping list of health problems, and that's basically how he died. There was no way that he was going to live at a long age.
The team reported it was 99.99% certain that Amenhotep III was the father of the individual in KV55, which is the father of King Tut.
Sounds pretty right on the nose, huh?
Yeah.
Can't get any more better than 99. I mean, you can get 100, but
I don't think any scientific study is ever going to do that, though.
Yeah, they'd be like, just in case. No, I purposely left that 0.1 out just in case it ever happened.
So both of King Tut's children died in infancy. One was premature, though.
Oh, did they? I didn't look up anything about the kids. I just looked up the.
Well,
the
they found his wife in tomb KV21 along with the daughters.
Is that a new COVID
317A and 317B? No, these are sections of pyramids and tombs and stuff.
The rooms.
Oh, he was only 5'6" too. He's a short little fucker.
That's dope. So
he had large front incisors, an overbite, which is a characteristic of his bloodline.
Well, as long as it's not an underbite, Joe hates those.
Yeah, I was talking shit to Kenny last night about his character on fucking So did they worship the overbite?
I don't know, but he had this
like a vermin.
He had this one issue that he had enlarged breast, and he had Marfan syndrome.
I hardly see that's an issue at all.
With a multi-systematic genetic disorder that affects the cognitive
had
tissues.
A set on him, man.
He had I think that his aunt motorboated him.
That motorboat, some bitch, you'll say.
Were they built for speed or comfort?
He had a X-linked intellectual disability that I don't know what that is. Just a
So you know what happened there? They did all these that too. They did all these curse things because they're afraid of whatever the fuck illness he had in him. All that shit was gonna get out to the public again. It was gonna spread like a fucking disease.
He had the Felter syndrome. It's known as 47XXY, and he had an extra copy of the X chromosome.
Dude,
God damn,
wait, what?
So he had Down syndrome.
Oh, is that how that? I don't know.
He had androgen insensitivity syndrome, AIS, and it's a sex development involving hormonal resistance due to androgen receptor and dysfunction. He had aromatose excess syndrome, is a rare genetic and characterizes overexpression of atromatase. I don't know what an enzyme responsible for the biosynthesis of estrogen sex syndromes.
That's why he had
hormones.
He had extra estrogen.
Yeah.
Let's see what else he had.
That also not enough estrogen.
That also plays into the TILF genetics, the tits I'd like to fuck.
So
he had
this guy's just walking around.
He had craniosynostosis, which is the enlarged head. He had Antley Bielexer syndrome. It's a rare, severe autosomal recessive congenital. God damn.
Jargon.
Deformities affecting the majority of the skeleton and other areas of the body. He had temporal lobe epilepsy. He had
at least it's only temporal.
Tutmos the fifth. Oh, that was his great grandfather. Yeah, so he had. That's what I was saying. He had that's why I didn't write all that shit down. I was like, he had a shopping list of fucking problems.
So wait, good for him for making it to 18. Holy shit!
Possibly 19.
Christ, dude.
Yeah.
If anybody had those disorders, they should have just called it Tutinitis.
I was just thinking of all this whole time. I'd be like, motherfucker, this guy's Humperdew.
He is Humperdew.
That's what I was thinking.
Like. He's extremely inbred.
I really wanted to say too that when they first showed him the tomb he was going to be buried in before he died, he was over there licking the pyramid walls.
I'm sorry, like, dude, this is in like Egypt when they announced him. Like there's the people like seeing the announcement or whatever, and they're like, is he they're like, shut up, he's our ruler now.
Well, they probably were accustomed to the way that they looked. I'm sure he was probably more fucked up than the rest of them, you know. But I'm sure like
they just keep getting weirder. It's strange.
So on November 4th, 1922, a team of researchers led by British archaeologist Howard Carter discovered a step that marked the entrance to King Tut's tomb, and the tomb itself was unearthed November 26th, 1922, which I think is pretty crazy. They did that pretty quick.
Yeah, they did.
Same month. So the curse is alleged to be cast upon anyone who disturbs the mummy of an ancient Egyptian, especially a pharaoh. This curse is known to cause bad luck, illness, or even death.
King Tut's curse is actually more prominent because he got magical powers from that extra chromosome.
And due to his Megamind head, he was able to use telepathy and telekinetic abilities.
That's true. Yeah. That's why he was such a good military strategist.
Yeah. And also he knew everything that was going on because he was one of the Watchers from Marvel.
Yep.
I think he was Uatu's little brother.
That's true.
There were stories of curses before King Tut's tomb was unveiled, but it like exploded tenfold after they uncovered it. And there was actually no curse that was inscribed inside of King Tut's tomb, but it's believed that such an idea of a desecration was unthinkable and even dangerous to record. But they're mostly seen in private tombs of the Old Kingdom era, which is between 2700 and 2200 BC, also known as the Age of the Pyramids or Age of the Builders.
Nice.
I actually had a thing of. Are you saying the date back to like mummy stories, or is that what you said?
No, the curse has been around before King Tut's tomb was uncovered, but it after they uncovered his tomb, it like became a lot bigger and more popularized.
That's what because I was looking at all this shit.
Hey, Kelly.
about like how long it's been around and shit. So like the author Christine L. Mahdi believes that the first to express fear of mummies were the Arabs who conquered Egypt in 641 AD. Arab writers warned people not to mess with mummies or their tombs because they were aware of the magic practiced by Egyptians during their funeral ceremonies. That and the pictures on the tomb walls highly suggested the revival of mummies back to the land of the living for revenge on those who disrupted their rest. And this, like other like great superstitious tales, made its way into the beautiful brains of storytellers and authors alike. The first published story about mummies is what I read about mummies' curses was in 1699, and that was what you were just saying. The discovery of King Tut later made it like way more popular, but that's just saying that the first like written published story supposedly about mummies curses was in 1699.
Nice. Let's see. I got a couple curses that they did find inscribed in some pyramids. If you guys want to hear them.
One's in large red.
This one, it's this was found in Katifi's tomb. It was during the 9th and 10th dynasty, and it said, any ruler who shall do evil or wickedness to this coffin may Haman, that was a deity of theirs, not accept the goods he offers, and may his heir not inherit.
Haman.
Casey, it's actually it's Hymen. Whoever shall break it before marriage will be cursed. My bad. You don't actually.
I think that's how you say the name. Right. This was in the 6th dynasty, and it contained this curse. As for all men who shall enter my tomb impure, there will be a judgment, and the end shall be made for him. I shall seize his neck like a bird, and shall cast fear of myself into him.
That's pretty fucking.
I'd be
scary.
like, nah, I'm cool.
I'll pass on that, bro.
That's oddly specific. The neck of a bird.
you know who would go in there though is David Carradine.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
He'd be like, I bet I could tug one out before I'm dead.
Dude, he for sure, when he died being strangled, he woke up on that fucking boat in the river of sand. He's like, what the hell am I? And he for sure was fucking, once he heard all these stories about shit, he's like, oh yeah, I can go for that.
Yeah, it's like, I'll strangle you to death like a bird and put my fear into you. And it's like, I bet I could rub one out before that fear gets to me.
He's in a corner. He's like, and then what would you do?
Tell me more.
Tell me more.
Another curse that was found is this one didn't have what pyramid it was in, but it said, curse to those who disturb the rest of a pharaoh. They shall break the seal of this tomb. They that shall break the seal of this tomb shall meet death by disease that no doctor can diagnose.
Well, at that time, that'd be AIDS.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, Mike is just beating all the jokes here.
I broke into his chambers and I got AIDS.
No, what?
At least that's what he told his wife.
Yeah.
I went to King Tut. What do you mean? Were you with that bitch Shirley? No, I wasn't with that bitch Shirley. It was that King Tut's excavation site. What do you think? What do you think? I'm just out here just raw dogging it? I mean,
what if that pharaoh just happened to just die by some kind of plague and it wasn't like a threat, it was a warning? Be like, this person was sick.
I guess
you see how gross he was? That could be you. Stop it.
William Shakespeare wrote, "Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones." And I guess he wrote that based off of some Egyptian mummy stuff. So I just
he based that off because he had a lot of homosexual tendencies. He was in the closet, and so everything shook his bones.
But apparently, I didn't know this. I didn't know William Shakespeare's grave was robbed and they stole his bones. So.
Did he steal his bones? It's like, I want this funny man.
They saw that inscription and went, bet.
If Shakespeare was in the Wu-Tang, Matthew's name would have been Shizza.
Shizza.
I don't know.
Today I made a Wu-Tang joke. It was stupid. But
actually, his name would be Shake the Break or something shit like that. I don't know.
My sister went swimming yesterday, and she was telling me how she hit her head on a rock. And I was like, "Did you? So you just came home and went to sleep?" I was like, "You didn't check to see if you had a concussion or nothing?" And she's like, "No." I was like, "Much like Wu-Tang, head injuries ain't nothing to fuck with, Tiff."
That's so funny. So funny.
So with hieroglyphs, they weren't deciphered until the early 19th century. So reports of curses before this were perceived as bad luck associated with handling of mummies and other artifacts in the tombs. But in 1699, Louis Penser wrote an account in which he recorded a Polish traveler brought 2 mummies in Alexandria and embarked on a sea journey with the mummies in the cargo hold. The traveler was alarmed by reoccurring visions of two specters, and the stormy seas did not abate until they threw the mummies overboard. Fuck this shit.
I'm out.
And that was thrown overboard in what is commonly known as the Bermuda Triangle. I'm just kidding, but that would be fucking nuts if that's why all that shit happened.
Yeah.
That's not true. It doesn't say where they threw him overboard. Somewhere, I'm sure, off the coast somewhere.
Probably,
when you
around Africa.
When do you guys think the first "I want my mummy" joke came from? Like when the first time it was used? You think an Egyptian did it one time when they were doing like one of the funerals, and one of them just another servant's nudging one servant's nudging another one. Like,
call it a mummy, or is that something we?
I want my mummy, and they're just like, silence! You'll be buried with him.
This guy or girl.
I don't know. Maybe we started calling them mummies.
Yeah, perhaps.
I'm gonna look at the origin of that. You can keep.
Zahi Hawass recalled that a young archaeologist excavating at Kam Abu Baloo,
Abu, like the monkey?
Billo.
Baloo, like the bear?
In the big blue house?
Yeah. The spot's not important. I'm sure if you want to look it up, you could find it by whatever I just said. But he transported several artifacts from the Greco-Roman site. His cousin died that day. His uncle died on the first anniversary. And on the third anniversary, his aunt died. Years later, when he was excavating the tombs of the builder of the pyramids at Giza, he encountered the curse. All people who enter this tomb who will make evil against this tomb and destroy it. May the crocodile be against them in the water, snakes against them on the land, and may the hippopotamus be against them in the water, the scorpion on the land.
Damn.
So I said the Arab thing earlier about how it was believed that they're the first, like whatever dates back to the whole mummy's curse was from the Arab people. Okay, so I was looking at the word mummy. It starts with the Persians with mum or mum. I don't know how you say that, but it meant wax, and then it moved to the Arabic
whack,
which was mumia or mumia. I can't pronounce that, but that means embalmed body, which makes sense. That's probably where it started. And then you got medieval Latin, which is mumia.
Mumia.
That's racist. Not racist. I don't know. And then French was mummy. And then mummy, which is late Middle English, is where it ended with it. And so late Middle English, denoting a substance taken from embalmed bodies and used in medicines. From French mummy, from medieval Latin mumia, and Arabic mumia, embalmed body, perhaps from Persian mum wax. That was just the definition of what I just said, but backwards. I don't know why.
Nice.
Anyways,
let me tell you guys more about Hawass. So even though Hawass wasn't superstitious, he decided not to disturb the mummies, but he was later involved in the removal of 2 child mummies from Bayraya Oasis to a museum and reported that he was haunted by the children in his dream. The phenomenon did not end until the mummy was reunited, or until the mummy of the father was reunited with the children in the museum. And he concluded that the mummy should not be displayed, though it was a lesser evil than allowing the general public into the tombs. Hawass also recorded an incident of a sick a sick young boy who loved ancient Egypt and was a subject to a miracle cure in an Egyptian museum when he looked into the eyes of the mummy king Amorous the First.
Wait, when they said
that
sick kid, when they said sick kid, did they mean like the kid like doing ollie while he's grinding down the pyramid? Like they mean like that? Like this kid was sick.
No, like he went in there on crutches and then he walked out without crutches.
Yeah, basically. He probably went in there with like some cancer, and then they're like, we have no trace of this cancer in your body anymore, man.
Like it was the mummy. I knew it.
He was like, "You can't, sir."
And then now
and then he did a kick flip.
Sick. No.
This kid's sick.
So now we're getting into King Tut's tomb, and it's believed that this was the tomb that brought all the curses to light, like, you know, to the public because of Howard Carter's team and other visitors who visited the tomb afterwards. Just forgot all those guys' names. But they opened up the tomb of King Tut, KV 62 in 1922, launching the modern era of Egyptology. We can just get into the deaths actually right now because that's basically all that's left for me.
Did you want me to do the deaths, or did you have something better than I have? I don't know. I only wrote it.
So, hold on. Were there any like inscriptions on King Tut's tomb?
There was one that involved supposedly involved something about wings, and I can't remember what it was.
Like
I legit
like bird wings, or like we're going to Buffalo.
No, I mean supposedly there was a God damn it.
I know.
Okay,
the chicken,
hold on.
It's tempting.
Hold on here.
Well, I was gonna say because what I found out, they said they never found a curse inside of his tomb, but I might have.
I wasn't saying. I was saying supposedly when the tomb was opened in 1922. Is that right? The journalist reported that an inscription near the door of King Tutankhamun, however you say, King Tut's tomb read, "Death shall come on swift wings to him that touches the tomb of the pharaoh." Didn't you say that already, Casey? Maybe you did.
No, I didn't. No, because although I never found a curse that was in his tomb because I was looking for one, but
that was I read it in something and I looked it up earlier. It was on my history, but yeah, apparently that's what it read near the door.
See, you know, these people testing fate, man.
Yeah, it's like literally told them to fucking stay away.
I mean, when y'all were younger, you saw no trespassing signs. You still trespassed.
Yeah, but
they never said no trespass, or it's like beware of ghosts. It always says beware of dog.
It said no trespassing. Violators will be shot, but it doesn't say your whole family and everybody you know will be cursed.
We stayed away from the fucking Chester the Molester's house that said beware of hog, so we just stayed away from it.
All right,
waving his dick around. Fuck you guys! I didn't get a mic laugh for that one. No points. All right. There you go. What the fuck was that? All right, so we got victims of King Tut's curse. We got George Herbert. That's a pervert name. He was the 5th Earl of Carnarvon. Is that how you say it? Carnarvon? I can't say it. Carnarvon. I don't fucking know.
No. That's a car place that you could buy a car without.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I think it's Carnarvon.
Carnarvon.
Carnarvon. Yeah.
I've been drinking. I got to break it down in syllables. All right, so he was the one who financed the whole excavation of King Tut's tomb. He was known as the first to be cursed. A few months after the opening of the tomb, George Herbert, or
Herbert the Pervert,
Lord Carnarvon, would die of blood poisoning due to accidentally tearing open a mosquito bite while shaving. According to the legend, he did blood poisoning. He was shaving and sliced open a mosquito bite and got blood poisoning from it.
Bro,
this is also in the 1920s.
What was he using for shaving cream? Shit.
Legend.
he would use the finest semen of his fucking servants to nicely smooth it out.
Legend says when Lord Carvanon died, all the lights in his house, or according to some accounts, all the lights in Cairo all mysteriously went out.
Yet another rumor said his dog Susie dropped dead at the exact same time he did, which I think was like 2 a.m. or something.
I didn't see what time it was, but if he had the light on, I'm sure it was dark.
That's kind of hilarious to me. The dog's just like barking at a squirrel and just croaks the same time he does. Or maybe he's shaving the dog.
Shaving the balls.
Or maybe it was eating peanut butter off his blood poisoned cock.
Oh my god.
So we got next up is Aubrey Herbert, the half brother of George Herbert, was said to have been a victim of the curse just for being related to the Lord of Carnarvon. Ugh. He was born with a degenerative eye condition leading to blindness later in his life. Doctors believed his eyesight was being disturbed by his rotten, infected teeth. This led to his brother having removed all of his teeth, and it obviously didn't give him his sight back, but what it did do was give him sepsis and caused him to die just 5 months after his cursed half-sibling. They say that's a part of the curse. It's like, that's science.
Well, it's like, dude, blood poisoning and then sepsis, that is, again, kind of like blood poisoning.
It's like, also his brother's like, nah, the doctor said he can't see because he has bad teeth. So he's like, all right, rip them all off his head. And then it's like, all right, well, again, we sterilize this equipment with the semen of our servants. So we got Aaron Ember. Ember was an American Egyptologist and was friends with George Herbert and many of the other people that were present during the opening of King Tutankhamun's tomb. In 1926, less than an hour after he and his wife were hosting a dinner party, their house burned down. He was told to go and fetch a manuscript he was working on. As his wife went to grab their son, unfortunately, both the family and the maid lost their lives that night. The manuscript Ember was working on, previously mentioned, was the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Nice.
Which actually, another thing I read was he would have lived if his wife didn't tell him to go grab that manuscript that he's been working on real fast. But that doesn't make any sense to me because she went to go get their kid. So regardless.
Yeah.
Nah.
Hey, go get my manuscript. Fuck your kids.
Dude, I gotta get out of here. No, our son in the manuscript. I'm gonna grab my manuscript. You grab the kid.
What happened there is while researching that Book of the Dead, he read a passage from it, and then a thing called Deadites came and burnt that motherfucker down.
Ain't you ever read the Bible? Your first born son will die. Sir Bruce Ingham was the friend of Howard Carter, the archaeologist who discovered King Tut's tomb. He was given a paperweight by Howard Carter as a gift. The paperweight consisted of a mummified hand, rock, and a bracelet that was said to have been inscribed with the phrase, "Cursed be he who moves my body." No, as dope as that inscription was, the one on Mjolnir was way better. I'm just saying. It's like he who, yeah.
Who was that?
Bruce Ingham. But Mjolnir is the hammer that Rock has, so if that was the more important one.
Who shall prove worthy shall be granted the powers of Thor or something like that?
Yeah, I like that one better. What I don't like is the skinheads that tattoo Mjolnir on them.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Okay, I see. So, did you say what happened with him?
Yeah, so he survived the alleged curse, but his house wasn't so lucky. It burned down to the ground not long after he received the said paperweight. When he tried to rebuild it, his house was hit with a flood. So he tried to rebuild the house, and a flood fucking knocked it back down again.
If he built it again, did fucking locusts attack it? Fuck.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's insurance fraud.
And then Jared Fogle let a plague on his house right afterwards. You guys remember that South Park episode where Cartman cues in all the shit?
Yeah.
Anyways, George J. Gold. He was a wealthy American financier and railroad executive and visited the tomb of Tutankhamun Rider in 1923. he fell sick immediately after this visit and died of pneumonia a few months later.
Oof. Pretty sketchy. Yeah. I mean, I will say with the that one's just
pneumonia was a common killer.
Yeah. But the last one,
common killer.
The dude had a fucking hand.
Yeah, that one's like crazy. Some of these that
here's a paperweight.
Yeah, and it was a fucking.
What's that say? It's like, oh, it's just some stuff about a curse. It's like, what, a curse? It's like, oh, don't worry about it. His fucking house burns down. And he goes, oh, shit.
Yeah, and literally on the bracelet on the hand said that fucking shit. And it's like, don't touch. And he did, and sure enough, he touched. So we got Hugh Evelyn White, yet another archaeologist, this time at the British variety, visited the tomb of King Tut your stuff around and may have even helped evacuate it. When the year 19 get out of here, go.
The Beatles are coming.
Get your tits off this Tut. When the year 1924 came rolling around, he was horrified by half of the dozen deaths that struck down his fellow excavators and committed suicide. But according to the rumor, not before leaving behind a message written in his own blood reading, "I have succumbed to a curse which forces me to disappear."
The fuck?
Yeah, that's how he was freaking. He was fucking freaking out. He's like,
Dude, we got. How much was that guy terrorized that he fucking killed himself? That sounds like some shit from like The Ring.
It's fucking scary. Everybody's just picking off left and right. I mean, when you think of it back then, but I mean, yeah.
He just gave up. He didn't try to fight the curse. He didn't go into like journalism mode like all the people who survive these type of movies do.
No, he would have been the character in Final Destination's like, fuck this, dude. It's coming for me. I'm just gonna lay on the tracks. So, or the fucking kid that killed himself, in It before he grew up. And it's like, no, I can't do this shit. I'm dying. Fuck this. I'm not reliving this shit. So we got Richard Bethel. He was the. Is it Bethel? Okay, so
Dick
he was
Bethel.
Dick Bethel. Damn. He was the secretary of George Herbert and the first person behind Carver to enter the tomb. There were a lot of suspicions circulating his death in 1929. One modern historian even stated that his death was the work of Aleister Crowley. There's another one.
We need to talk about that guy too.
Yeah, we definitely need to talk about him. Old Bethel boy was found in his room at an elite London gentleman's club, smothered to death.
Kevin Spacey.
Was he smothered to death with King Tut's titties?
Maybe. They definitely weren't built for comfort. Not long after his death, the Nottingham Evening Post Muse wrote the suggestion that the Richard Bethel had come under the curse was raised last year when there was a series of mysterious fires at his home, where some of the priceless finds from King Tut's tomb were stored. I'm just gonna say it that way because I can't say the full name in the quote. But no evidence was ever unearthed whether his death was connected to the artifacts, though. So, I mean, obviously, you can't. Yeah, there's no evidence. It's supernatural fuckery.
It's pretty fishy, though.
Yeah. Did the mummy stuff survive the fires?
I
wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like everything burned around the house besides that shit. That'd be wild.
We got Lord Westbury. Jumping ahead a bit here, Bethel's father, Lord Westbury, 77, who was said to have thrown himself off his 7th floor St. James apartment. Bethel's father's suicide was thought to be under suspicious circumstances in 1930. That's why I said jump ahead. I should have wrote that prior. What made it so bizarre was that the apartment was filled with unregistered items taken from King Tut's tomb that had been gifted to him by his son. So his son gave him unregistered items from there, and he killed himself. I can't live anymore. My son had items. I have items too. I can no longer wear this Egyptian cock ring.
Richard Bethel actually had a secretary too that died on November 15th, 1929, in the bed of the Mayfair Club, and as a victim of a smothering as well.
Damn.
Captain the Han is what it said his name was. It's a weird name.
Captain the Han. Oh, maybe that was what the Han thing was about. The damn. Okay.
Oh, is that the same person? Maybe that's the same thing. Yeah, but it's his secretary.
Yeah, I think. That's what I wrote. He was the secretary and the first person behind Carver to go in.
Oh, I thought you said it was the father.
No. Oh, no. The father was Bethel's father was the one I was talking about that killed himself.
Oh, okay.
Bethel's father jumped in. I might have read it weird when I was.
I just might have misunderstood you.
There's James Henry Breasted, or as I most famously call him, James Henry Breastises, was yet another famous Egyptologist and a member of Carter's Curse team of Tut and Karma Sutra tomb openers. It has been stated that shortly after his return from the Tootinanny, he discovered that his pet canary was eaten by a cobra. The cobra was just chilling in the cage when he got home. Like, he got home, it was supposedly, and it was just sitting in the cage, just fucking hanging out. His bird gone. I imagine some feathers up on its little cobra tongue. Just
that cobra's just like, sup.
Sup with it. So this was scary given the symbolism of the event. The cobra is a symbol of the Egyptian monarchy and a motif. There we go. That the pharaohs wore on their headdresses to represent protection. Breastises didn't die until 1935, immediately after a trip to Egypt. Should have never gone back. This motherfucker, he went back to Egypt and then left, and then motherfucker got murdered.
What were his last words? Should have never gone back. Just, oh, damn.
Damn, should have never gone back. We got Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, was a radiologist, wasn't a part of the whatever thing, but he x-rayed Tut before the mummy was given to museum authorities. He got sick the next day and died 3 days later. There was no like specification of him. He did the x-rays and then he died.
Radiation poisoning, possibly?
Oh, maybe. That big ass forehead. And then this is what I was talking about before. Prince Ali Kamal Fahmy Bey. Prince Ali Kamal was a 23-year-old prince who visited the tomb. And he even took a photograph there. So
stood there for like 2 minutes. Just like,
yeah. But anyways, he was shot dead by Marie Margaret, his French wife of 6 months, in a hotel shortly after the visit on the 10th of July, 1923. He went there to quick pick. His wife's like, fuck you, there's the cops. Here's this gun. Here's your chest. Pow, pow, pow. That's all I got. I'm going to... Wait, what the fuck?
Dude, wife married 6 months, and it took 6 months for him to figure out how crazy this bitch was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or 6 months for him to annoy her so bad that she...
Non, I will not take it again. Non. She just pulls out a gun. All right, so we got Sir Lee Stacks. Was the governor general of the Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. He was stated to be one of the first people to visit the tomb of Tutankhamun Weiner. 6 months later, while Fat Stacks was being driven from the Egyptian War Office in Cairo to his home, he was shot multiple times by a group of students. He succumbed to his wounds 3 days later on the 19th of November.
A group of students? Like,
yeah. Nobody appreciated my Tutankhamun Weiner joke?
Please tell me they were like middle schoolers. That'd be hilarious.
I'm assuming college students. Maybe they were just middle schoolers. Ahmed Kamal Bey was the first Egyptologist in Egypt and a scientific pioneer in his own country. Supposedly, shortly after his visit to the tomb of Tut, he died of possibly a lung infection. There's no like definitive cause on here. I didn't know. That literally like 4 different things I read. They were like, he may have died of lung infection. We got Arthur Cruttenden Mace was another member of Carter's Curse ensemble. During the discovery of the tomb, he provided crucial help to Carter during both the excavations and the drafting of the first volume of the Tomb of Tutankhamen. I can't say the name.
Tut.
Yeah, Tut. In 1924, his health mysteriously began to deteriorate, and he left Egypt due to the fact. He died April 6, 1928, after writing a letter claiming that he was being poisoned by arsenic. I smell a conspiracy there. That one for sure. It seemed like they were trying to shut him out. And then the last one that I had, which isn't really the famous Howard Carter, the man himself. He surprisingly was not struck by any of the mysterious curse shit at hand. He died of lymphoma at 64, and his tombstone says, "May your spirit live. May you spend millions of years. You who love Thebes." I can't say
and butthead.
Sitting with your face to the north wind, your eyes beholding happiness. One of the things that one of the places I read the shit off of said that maybe they spared him for his love of the fucking knowledge of Egypt.
The rest of them waited to get rich. He just loved it.
Yeah,
it's a common.
Some of them, remember, they were like pure of heart. You know, he was pure of heart.
Yeah, he wasn't striking boners in a fucking tomb of dead people.
He wasn't fucking that hand thing that was the fucking paperweight.
All these people are doing.
He was doing like what Peter was doing when he was like masturbating with that skeleton. When he had the Indian burial ground or whatever, and he's sitting there and he was like peeing on the skull or whatever. But that guy was using the hand to beat off.
Yeah, it wasn't like Lord Carnarvon's or whatever the fuck it was. He was just he grabbed King Tut's head. It's like, check it out, it's our new mascot. Blah, and he did the shit from Beer Fest.
Frustrating.
So those are all the things that I got. There was some other names on the list that I could not fucking
That's a lot of people. That's a lot more than I thought there was.
And there's more of a list, but including like fucking like excess people involved in it, but like related to some of the people that died. But I couldn't find any information on them, and I kind of had to. I tried to last minute there and couldn't find them. But those are the fun ones.
I think you did pretty concise on your death research. You had all the ones that I had.
Yeah, and then I tried to, because there was the main ones a part of the research team, and I was trying to delve into the ones that weren't really a part of it, but didn't really get a whole lot on that. That general one I thought was kind of funny. I was like, this curse doesn't exist. Oh, I'm not dying. I'm not dying of no sickness. Some kids roll up on him and start shooting him. Drive-by style.
What were your thoughts on this curse, Matthew?
Are we doing thoughts? Because I got
thoughts.
Oh, do you got more shit?
I just got one more thing.
I think you're done. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was done with the deaths, so I got some of the stuff because so before we get to the final thoughts, because this is some stuff from some non-believers here. So most of Carter's team.
We don't give a fuck about them people. No.
Yeah. So apparently most of Carter's team led full lives, is what this one article thing said. In 2002, Mark R. Nelson, an epidemiologist, I can't say that, I'm drinking. They monitor infectious diseases, bioterrorism threats, and other problem areas for public health agencies. Well, he published a historical study of the mummy's curse in BMJ, which is British Medical Journal. He researched all 44 Westerners Carter stated were present at the tomb, and of the 44, stated that the 25 of them, I think that's not including Carver, that would have been exposed to the curse. Exposed meaning the ones who entered the actual tomb itself. Using Carter's diaries, he identified and tracked down the obituaries to determine their dates of death. I'm not good with stats or numbers or whatever the fuck, but this is what he wrote. Adjustment for age and sex, any exposure, or the number of times exposed did not confer additional risk for early within 10 years death. Odds ratio 1.38, 95% confidence interval 0.20 to 9.6. Nelson writes, there was also no effect on survival time for any exposure or number of exposures. The only variable that seemed to be influenced life expectancy was being a woman, as Lady Evelyn Herbert outlived all the men who entered the tomb, dying on 1980 at the age of 78. Nelson states that the mummy's curse was brought on by literature, example being Louisa May Alcott, who published a short story in 1896 titled Lost in a Pyramid or The Mummy's Curse. An Egyptologist by the name of Herbert E. Winlock also examined evidence some 12 years after the tomb's opening and found that of the 26 that were present, that's including them, during the opening of the tomb, only 6 of them died within the next 10 years. Only 22 of the 26 were present during the opening of the sarcophagus, but only 2 of them had died within 10 years after. And last but not least, only 10 of the 26 watched the unwrapping of the mummy, and none of them had died the next decade. Most of the people that made contact with the corpse lived long, productive lives. So that's that was one of the. I thought I'd just get something on the opposite side of it.
Yeah, but a lot of them did die in weird ways.
Yeah, some of and it's like some of those on that list that I listed died in like weird, kind of strange ways, and some of them I just died of some fucked up shit.
Like, did you talk about Arthur Weigel at all?
I don't think I did. No,
I just had a quick little thing with him. Yeah, he was a previous Inspector General of Antiquities to the Egyptian government, and he reported that this was oh no, that was the wrong guy. Sorry, fucking my bad. It's the same guy, but the wrong note. Because you already talked about the Cobra thing. Okay, so Arthur Weigel reported 6 weeks before Carvanon's death. He had watched the Earl laughing and joking as he entered the king's tomb and said to a nearby reporter, H.B. Morton, I give him 6 weeks to live. And he ended up dying in 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
There was also a murder. So, what I said about the when we were talking about the fucking God damn it, dude, Lord Carnivore, whatever the fuck. They said also
Jesus. Arva,
in Cairo, I guess it was notorious. Cairo's power would go out in like random times all the time, and it would do it for at least 10 seconds to whatever seconds a night. And then also the dog thing that was supposed to be really spooky would make sense if it wasn't for the fact that the timing, God damn it, the time zones don't add up. Between Cairo and Europe's 2 a.m. isn't the same. And then they had the thing about the canary being eaten by the cobra, which is a good story. But there was like, it's been told that he gave his bird to someone else who then gave it. I want to say cobra. they gave the bird was passed to a cobra. That the bird was passed down from to a friend, and the friend gave it the someone else. I should have wrote it fucking down. But supposedly the canary was never fucking it was never at his house, and there's 2 different stories of the canary being at the excavation site. He brought it with him, and then also it being at his home. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. Whatever.
Here's a crazy thing.
The one thing crazy for sure is that dude though writing the manuscript and his house catching on fire and then trying to rebuild it and it floods. That shit's fucking crazy.
What about the guy who killed himself and was like, I'm cursed?
Yeah, and that guy too, but also the paranoia could have struck. I mean, coincidence is a fucking thing. I'm jumping on both sides with this though here. I'm kind of in the middle.
616.
Yeah, Mr. 616. I am balanced by 2 6s with a 1, all right? which is crazy. Wait, can we just talk about this real quick? I'm balanced on both sides. 2 6s with the one in the middle, and I'm a Libra, and I don't believe in all the fucking sign shit, but a Libra is a balance. I am fucking, and I am balanced between 2 evils.
Okay, white girl.
I'm white girl wasted.
But
I love getting white girl wasted.
The first autopsy that was carried out on King Tut was done by Dr. Derry, and he found a healed lesion on the left cheek. And which is crazy about this is because the mosquito, the left
face
cheek.
or ass.
Oh, face. But it's because the Carvanon, when he got that mosquito bite and he was shaving his face, it was on the left side. They just don't know how precise the location was because Carvanon was buried 6 months prior.
Yeah, see, and
they
that's
they speculate that it matched up.
I kept reading things and they couldn't get a direct fucking whatever. Like, I mean, they had their whatever, but it's like everything was like long cold before they can really get fucking whatever on it. That probably doesn't make any sense. I'm hurricaning it up over here. But I mean that it's not an example.
Cobras like Matt. At least that's on brand.
They only had one left at the store, so I ended up with 3 hurricanes and 1 cobra. I haven't drank all those hurricanes yet.
But my canaries.
Here I am.
Your canaries. Your hurricanes. But that being said, there's no proof that things happened. They have proof, like what you were just saying, but they have no proof either way of anything else. So it's not like they can. All they can do is predict that it's like the dates within like decades. Some people died decades later, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's just kind of, my God, dude, I can't talk.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It between the time limit, they're just like, okay, it's not super coincidence. Everybody's kind of like living on the same curse decades later. But everything that I've read of the deaths, they weren't decades later. I mean, I didn't have all the timelines down for them, but one of them wasn't until 1930 or whatever the fuck. So I mean, that's not hell later. That dude did die at 77, but his son died. His son died smothered. Wait, he was the one that got smothered, right? No, he didn't die. Wait, I don't remember. God damn it.
Mummied by his mummies.
Yeah, no, he was the one that was smothered, and then his dad killed himself with the fucking whatever. That's too coincidental. Or his dad was super superstitious, because this is a time where superstition like kind of ruled. Superstition has kind of ruled fucking time up until like the modern day anyways, right?
I think it still does.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, with the way that technology is now, people are not as superstitious as they used to be. We have more atheist or agnostic people now than we ever have.
People used to treat
people are ruled more by logic because we're no longer in the dark. It's like before everything was in the dark. Like we're afraid of the dark or whatever, but everything has had light shined on it now. You got like whether it's just like physically light has been shined on it or just, you know, I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah. It's just like knowledge. Like we have the world's knowledge in our pocket now. I mean, you can type in anything, see it, and you can reassure yourself anything. If I'm like, oh, dude, ghosts, are they fucking real? I can type it in, and you can have 1,000 different forums, but you can choose to believe the ones that's going to make you feel more comfortable.
I don't know. I feel like the curse is there because let me tell you, Joseph, these fucking aliens these aliens were hooking up with these Egyptians, and who's to say that they didn't leave some little spell for them?
They did. Tut was one of them. You seen his head, or you read about his head?
Yeah, they didn't call him Pile X-Y for nothing.
Yeah, he basically looked like a Krogan from Mass Effect.
Damn. Tut, phone home. Now, I'm not gonna. That's what I was. I only
constructed this image of his skeletal structure.
I only took notes semi on an opposing side because I thought it would just be fun to have whatever. I'm going to stay on my neutral end. with it because I can say that like it's like it's just coincidence, whatever. But when I was reading about this shit, because like my whole family is asleep and I was just sitting there like reading it, I started getting like a chill down my spine. I was like, well, better go drink a beer to get some courage going here. And I noticed my door is unlocked. I was like, I swear to God, I locked that fucking door.
Justin's gonna have dreams of little mummy children and cobras tonight.
Man, shit, I don't need them in my dreams. I'll be drinking them.
What do you guys think, Mike, Matthew?
I believe in the curse.
Mike believes in all curses. Mike, like me, are rocking the tut titties. We got the tutties.
I don't believe it's anything supernatural.
Mine are a little bigger, though.
Yeah.
I don't believe the curse.
I'll get there.
Coward.
That's what I have a hard time with, because like I don't want to believe like the curse thing, but I mean reading about shit. But I guess it's the same thing when you fucking watch scary movies. I guess you kind of get like a little jump in you because your brain's getting rocked. But one thing we can all agree on: the tutties are real.
Teddy bear.
They are.
I believe in the supernatural, so I would hope that the curse is real. I mean, it sucks for those people. Maybe you should have fucking took the warning.
Heed the warning, man.
Yeah, but Casey, you believe in climate change. I'm just kidding.
Climate change is real.
It is real. I was joking.